TV, and you can play a drinking game along with me and take a shot every time I say Kindle Fire TV and Windows Phone 8.1. So ask questions. We've got our moderator and good friend and editor-in-chief, Sean the Beard Ani here.
Hi, everybody.
Who will be moderating and chiming in, answering questions. He's our streaming, I guess, local expert, so to speak. So there's a lot of things to talk about. Amazon's now officially getting involved in your TV. Microsoft's Windows Phone is getting closer to being a real big competitor, I think, to the iOS and Android thrones. You could even say that they are playing a Game of Thrones, or at least trying to play a Game of Thrones.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that.
I'm sorry, I should give a caveat. My baby was up from 1 to 4 in the morning screaming because of teething. So if my jokes are even less funnier than usual, I'm so sorry for that.
I'm not sure that's even humanly possible.
Yeah.
Our first question comes from Josh McMurdo. Will Windows 8.1 update finally let users boot to the desktop and skip Metro UI? Did they announce that
Yes,
today?
they did, and it's sad when they have to make an announcement. Like, they figured there's so many things to talk about. One of the things they talked about was, yes, you can now boot directly to your normal desktop like you've been able to do in every other version of Windows before then. That's probably the feature most people were extra excited about. So, yes, you, sir.
Remember this tile UI? We're just going to put it over here.
Oh, and also remember how big a deal we made about touchscreen? Like, I didn't use the mouse with it because we realized the mouse and keyboard experience on the modern UI was awful.
Yeah, it was.
Super duper extra awful.
Okay, we've got one more Windows 8.1 question.
Okay.
This one comes from Sean Huh. Will Windows 8.1 finally show how good Windows 8 will be?
That's a subjective question. I've always liked Windows 8. I liked it on the surface. I will say the learning curve to learn how to use it was really, really long, and that's for somebody like me who's, more on the tech-savvy side. Folks that just sort of used to using a computer had a much harder time. So I always liked Windows 8. I think Windows 8.1 makes it a little bit easier for people. Being able to sort of launch apps seamlessly between normal UI or desktop UI and modern UI, and being able to dock both those apps is going to make life much easier for a lot of people.
And remember, you loaned me that Windows 8 laptop, and I called you that night and went, how do I shut it down?
Yeah, like, you gotta scroll and bring the charm bar from the side, you gotta go to settings, and then you're like, where's power?
It made
like,
no sense.
Why did that need to be a 4-step process?
Yeah, no question.
Don't need to turn it off ever.
This question comes from Ciro. Did you order the Amazon Fire TV?
Yes, of course we did. I think it's awesome what Amazon did, like available today if you have same-day delivery. And we knew this was coming when you saw the controller leak, but like the console itself or the box itself didn't leak. The packaging didn't leak
at all.
I think that's pretty incredible nowadays when like every single part gets leaked online. So I don't know who Amazon's using for their super secret suppliers and who their supply chain is, but I think Apple and HTC and Samsung maybe might want to look at them a little bit.
Yeah, no, there had been no leaks on the box whatsoever. As a matter of fact, all the rumors we'd heard was it was going to be a dongle Chromecast size. Yeah,
which is pretty cool, and even the name nobody knew, Fire TV, was pretty neat. So I give them credit for that.
Yep. Here's another question. I'm not sure we know the answer on this one yet. Matthias Shishan, excuse me if I mispronounced your name, is Amazon Fire TV coming to other countries outside the U.S., e.g. Central Europe? My guess would be yes, but they did not specifically address that today.
It will be coming to other countries. They didn't say which countries and when, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
I would assume that it will.
Yeah, that would be my guess as well. Okay, this question comes from Sumner Chadra. Is Windows Phone 8.1 a free update, and is it coming to all Windows Phone 8 phones?
Yes, absolutely free updates. I don't know if people really charge for OS updates anymore. I think that got killed. I think Apple did for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, they did up until Mavericks.
Yeah. They're talking about Windows Phone. 8.1. I don't think OS updates, mobile OS updates. I think Apple charged for OS updates originally.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, on the desktop they charge, but not on mobile. No.
So yeah, it will be free, and they didn't say if it's coming to all Windows Phone 8 devices, but I have heard rumors that it will come to all Lumia devices. So if you have one of those, you should be okay. But from what I understand, the hardware requirements are very similar to what Windows Phone 8 was. So if you can run a Windows Phone 8, presumably you can run 8.1 as well. I'm surprised it was a big update. They didn't call it Windows Phone 9 or at least Windows Phone 8.5. Like a 0.1 denotes like a tiny little update. They added a ton of really awesome new features. I hope you guys ask me about because I really want to talk about them.
Well, here you go then. From Alexander's 1414, will Windows Phone 8.1 finally have the Microsoft version of Siri?
It will, and it is called Cortana officially, which is awesome. Cortana, of course, from Halo fame. She's the little sort of virtual character that Master Chief hung out with. I won't ruin too much of the story, but it does make sense that they called it Cortana. It's pretty awesome. It looked like it works pretty well. One of the things I liked about it that you can't really do with Siri is you can type requests to it. If you're not in a position where you can talk or it's loud, you can just type it, and she will understand and execute your every will, which was pretty nice. So yes, finally we have it, and it will be coming very, very soon.
Yeah, it's a geeky thing, but I love the fact they called it Cortana.
Yeah, I think everybody really, really liked that.
From one of our regulars, from Sachin Bahal, do you need an Amazon Prime subscription to take full use of the Amazon Fire TV?
Yes.
For full extent, yes.
Yes. I mean, unless you just want to watch like Netflix and Hulu whenever Netflix finally makes it there, but yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going to be very tightly integrated into the Amazon ecosystem.
Even with the price increase, paying and renewing my Prime every year, I'm like giddy to do it. It is the best money I think I spend all year. Prime is so worth it, even just for the second-day shipping. So the streaming stuff is just like an added bonus. I'm not affiliated with Amazon at all, not advertising or anything, but I think Prime is really the best deal going in tech. Even at, I think it's $100 now. It's worth every single penny.
Living in the middle of nowhere like I do, it's a lifesaver.
Sean really does live in the middle of nowhere. If you Google Maps his address, it's like a forest, and then like a pin drops right in the middle of it.
Pretty much. Okay, here's another subjective question, but interesting, from Sean Ha. Do you like Windows 8 or Windows 7 better?
I like Windows 8, in all honesty. I like the touchscreen. I like using it on the Surface. Windows 7 was nice. It was sort of still just Windows to me. So I prefer Windows 8, but I recognize that I am still probably in the minority with that opinion. But I really like the way it works. I like the way it looks. And once I sort of got the hang of it, I could appreciate sort of the, I guess you can call it confusing elegance of Windows 8.
That's one way to put it.
I thought so.
Now, here's a very excellent question about Windows Phone, and this one comes from Nathan Gillerson. I had Windows Phone 2 years ago, and the apps were limited. How is it now?
That is a good question, Nathan. You also have a great name. The apps have gotten way, way better. So for me, there's sort of a core group of apps that I use. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and WhatsApp. And all of those are available on Windows Phone. Anything secondary to that I can live without. The other apps that are important to me, at least, a good Google Analytics app, and they have a good Google Analytics app. A YouTube app, I know there's been issues with Google working with Microsoft on an app, but there's an app called, MetroTube that works really, really well. So all the apps that I've needed have been there. And that's something that was not true 2 years ago probably when you used it. So the apps have gotten way, way better. There's still a ton of garbage apps out there, but you can find the gems, and they're much easier to find and much more of them now than definitely there were 2 years ago.
Here's a question from Sundar Chandra about the Fire TV. Why would someone opt for Amazon Fire rather than any other service provider? There will actually be a post about that shortly after the show. And
you want to give a teaser answer to that one?
I will give a teaser. I think some of the big things are the gaming support, while it's still not PC gaming like some of the rumors had said. Also the fact that it's got a lot more horsepower under the hood, and voice search. I threw my hands up in joy for voice search.
Yeah, it's a funny comment got made that it's actually better spec than the iPhone 5S.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I can't wait for mine to arrive tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited. We'll have ours tomorrow as well.
All right, and here's a very specific question from Matij Ilik. Are there any changes in Windows 8.1 RT?
That's a good question. I don't remember them mentioning RT at all. I think the only change I'm making RT is making RT just magically disappear.
Yeah, I think we're going to see with Windows 9 RT just kind of slowly die.
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember hearing a word about Windows RT.
Yeah, exactly. All right, from Greg Kessman, excuse me. Is it worth picking up Amazon Fire TV if I already own a Chromecast?
Good question.
Yeah, very good question.
Voice search is nice, gaming is nice. If those aren't important to you, so if Chromecast, then you could pretty much now anything you could do on your phone or tablet, your TV will do. That includes, Voodoo now and a ton of other services. I think Chromecast, and it's a cheaper option too. Chromecast is still a really good way to go. Sean?
Yeah, I totally agree. Chromecast is it's getting a lot more support, especially since they launched the SDK in February. And I think that it's still a great option, especially at $35. You can't beat it.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
it doesn't hurt to have a full set-top box as well for depending on what features you're looking for. So
Yeah. The only problem I'm running into with all this stuff is I don't have enough freaking HDMI ports.
there's going to be an editorial about that coming up in the not-too-distant future.
Like, not everything can plug into HDMI. Most TVs have 4 if you're lucky, and you can get a switcher, I know, and you can get a receiver and plug. I mean, like, you just don't have that many HDMI ports. So more ports on TVs, please.
Jacob was at a Samsung event and actually asked them, and they said that the average user only uses 3 HDMI ports, and they do not see this currently as an issue.
What? Okay, so let's run through this together, shall we? Let's say assume you don't have a splitter or you're not running to a receiver. You've got a cable box or satellite, whatever that might be. Let's say you've got one streamer, which is probably a few. So you probably have more. Let's say you've got either Chromecast, an Apple TV, Roku, something like that. Pretty reasonable. Most people have one of those. One gaming system, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
So Xbox One, Wii, whatever, PS4. So there's 3 taken right there. I think most sort of common core systems. Then you want to start adding things like a Fire TV or a Chromecast or a Roku or a myriad of other options. Your Apple TV if you don't have that.
Blu-ray player.
Blu-ray player, exactly. Ports go really ridiculously fast.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah. I will say, though, the free Xbox Ones are going to everyone in the audience at Build, for what it's worth.
Whoa! Well, I kind of wish I was at Build now, even though I have an Xbox One. Here's another question from Summer Chandra. How much?
Can I make the joke that they have all those Xbox Ones lying around they haven't sold?
How much does the Fire TV cost? $99.
$99.99.
But if you want the game controller, then that's an additional $39, $39.99, so $40. But it does currently come with $16.99 in value in Amazon coins and a free game.
Amazon coins, it's like Dogecoin, but better.
So much coin.
So much coin. All coin.
Quick thank you from one of our viewers here who is, the question's not moving up there, but from Nathan Gillerson. Not a question, but I wanted to say that I enjoy the interaction with all of your viewers. Thanks.
Nathan! Thank you, sir. Thank you. Scary finger pointing at you.
We do enjoy interacting with all of you. It's nice to hear what everyone has got on their minds. What's the important questions?
I wish, though, that we could interact more, because mostly it's just like me talking, but I wish that we could talk back and just dialogue.
Yes, exactly. Okay, here it is again. I know we already addressed this, but I'm sure it's going to come up multiple times from Matage Illick. Are all phones running Windows Phone 8 to be updated to 8.1? I know we already addressed it, but I'm sure this is on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, we don't know about every phone. They didn't say which phone, but the rumor we've heard will at least be every Lumia phone will get 8.1.
Yep. All right. Our next question here is from Sumar Chandra again. What type of gaming integration is there in the Fire TV? It's going to have its own game store, and they actually also announced Amazon Game Studio, which is currently developing a dozen original games. So there will be thousands of currently available Android games as well as the ones Amazon is working on itself.
Yeah, so big point there that Sean mentioned. They are Android-based games.
Yes.
They did say they expect the games to cost an average of, I believe, $1.85.
Yeah, $1.85.
So you're not looking at like a $60 flagship console-style game. It's more sort of cheaper impulse-type purchases, but they are Android-based based games. Supposedly porting from their typical Android over to Fire TV should be relatively easy for developers.
Yeah, they said since it's Android and HTML-based, not only in the games but in the apps, it should also be a very easy move over. So I'm expecting we'll see a lot of stuff coming up very quickly.
I agree.
Okay, the next question comes from Rex Enzo. Will the Windows Phone 8.1 update make devices with 512 megabytes of RAM like Lumia 520 better and faster?
They didn't say that specifically. They didn't get into phones and devices, but I would assume that it's not going to make it faster. You're still dealing with a limited spec of RAM. Again, I said all Lumia devices, so I assume that you will get something of 8.1. I wouldn't be surprised though if it's a pared down 8.1 version, though, since 512 megabytes of RAM is still sort of on the lower end of what's becoming standard nowadays.
Yeah. It will be very interesting to see. Now, here's a little bit of an off-topic question, but it's one that's on everyone's minds as of late, from Matage Illick. Do you think Microsoft will release a smartwatch OS like Google?
Yes. I think they'll have one live tile and give you a single notification. But no, I do think Microsoft's going to get into it, of course, in typical Microsoft fashion. They'll probably get into it in about 6 years when the trend is already on the sort of downswing. But yeah, I think eventually they will.
Yeah, me too. From Alexander's 1414, does the Fire TV support any type of mirroring for Kindle devices? They did not mention that today. It does have a second screen option for when you're watching a movie. It will pull information from IMDb, even about the specific scene you're watching. But they did not mention any sort of mirroring, but that seems possible with the Bluetooth connectivity and Wi-Fi connectivity, so maybe down the road.
Yeah, I would assume that's a no-brainer, that that'll come. And as Sean mentioned, the integration with IMDb, which coincidentally Amazon owns.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as they said IMDb, I was like, of course it was IMDb.
Yeah. I will say, guys, for the next 10 or 15 minutes that we're on, if you have other questions too that you want to ask, if you want to ask about other pieces of technology, please go ahead and do so. We'll keep primarily on the Fire TV and Windows Phone 8.1, but anything else, you guys are welcome to try and sort of chime in and ask.
Well, we actually have one of those that's been lurking down in the system here. Does the new HTC One have wireless 802.11 AC?
You said there's a new...
The Fire One M8. I am checking our product page right now.
HTC One M8, I believe, only has N, but at 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. That's off the top of my head. I've read the specs sometimes.
I am going to check that right now for
you.
Right.
I think I can do the specs almost by memory.
Yes, folks, we're going to test John on live video here.
You could just name phone and see if I can recite the specs for you.
It has AC.
Ah, ballsack.
You were correct about dual band, but it does have AC.
Also, guys, Nokia Lumia 930 just got announced. It's essentially an international version of the Lumia Icon, which is a great phone in its own right. So,
yeah, I thought they were going to announce that this evening.
It just happened, Sean.
Oh, well, live and on the air.
Just happened. You heard it here first, folks.
Okay. There's some interesting questions popping towards the top here. Does the Fire TV offer anything new, Sean Ha wonders?
So why doesn't Sean, why don't you ponder that answer?
It does offer some new things. It offers a optical out, which the Apple TV offers. The big thing, though, everyone, is going to be the gaming. Because this, yes, the Roku does have gaming support on some of its models, but it's very limited, and it's just with the remote and an A/B button. With the integration of the controller, I think that makes things a little bit more interesting. But I'm almost looking at like a streaming box with an Ouya console shoved inside of it.
Yeah, so, that's a very good analogy, actually.
Yeah, so I think once we have it in hand and we can actually look at the games, especially this the first game that's coming free with the controller, Sub-Zero, and we can actually see how it plays, I think that's going to tell us a lot more.
Yeah, Sub-Zero looks great. I can't wait for the sequel, Scorpion, to come out. Should be pretty good. Johnny Cage come out after that.
Folks, this is what I have to work with every day. Anyway, this question comes from Craig Kessman. Any more rumors to round up regarding the Nexus 8?
Nothing. Honestly, nothing new. We heard some grumblings from one source, but we couldn't get it verified by someone else. So unfortunately, I don't know anything concrete on that one yet at all.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to happen, but we just don't know for sure yet.
Yeah.
All right, moving on here. Let's see, we've got tons of questions coming in. A lot of questions asking how the Fire TV compares with other devices. Like I said, there is a top 5 list coming out shortly after this show, so I will be addressing all of those for you folks in that post. I think the big thing is its size, especially the quad-core processor, the 2 gigabytes RAM, the dedicated graphics processor. I think it's going to be quite powerful, actually, when we look at it.
Yeah, and they said no lag with anything. That's why there's a dedicated GPU here. So scrolling through menus will be no lag, and all kinds of other stuff will give you sort of that no lag experience that I think a lot of people have been hoping for.
Yeah, exactly. Another question from Summer Chandra. Has Windows Phone 8.1 improved on multitasking? Did they cover that? I unfortunately was not able to watch.
So before we get to there, Tech Examine is asking about the bin on my desk. The OCD is killing him, so this is for you. They didn't talk about multitasking at all. Presumably, you can close apps and you can can swipe them up, close multiple at the same time, but they didn't talk much about multitasking at all about it.
Oh, John. Can you wave if you read this? Anyway. Oh, my. Okay, let's see here. Oh, now this is interesting. I did not realize this. I will have to double-check this. I didn't think it started in 94. Amazon's turning 20 this year.
Wow. So I know, Sean, you know this answer, but to some of the younger folks out there, what kind of company did Amazon start as? What did they sell? Ready? Answer it in your head if you can. If your answer was books, you would be correct. They were just a bookstore. And I remember buying books from justamazon.com.
I think I went through my order history not too long ago. My first order from them was in 96. And it was books.
That was all they did, was just books. And they did it very well.
Now, here's a question, and John, I didn't get to ask you. Did you see, this question is from Ablum24, is Elon Musk the next revolutionary inventor? You saw the 60 Minutes piece?
I did see 60 Minutes piece. And I believe even Eric Schmidt from Google said when he dies he wants to give Elon Musk his money because he's going to change the world. Yes, I think Elon Musk absolutely is. I think it goes beyond sort of like that sort of Steve Jobs analogy. I think Steve Jobs did a lot for consumer electronics in the world. I think Elon Musk is going to do a lot to actually change the world. And there's a big, big difference there. Mr. Musk has said his goals are to not only help save the planet, but also to help mankind expand to a multi-planetary living, so get a colony on Mars, which, judging by how quickly we're burning through our resources and killing this planet, is going to be increasingly important. So I do very much think that Elon Musk is the next revolutionary inventor and world changer.
I have to agree. And having, seen Tesla cars in person now, it's quite interesting. Yeah. So no, I agree with you, John. How many people can sit around and go, you know what? I think I'll start a rocket company.
And actually do it. Like, there hasn't been a successful American startup car company since Chrysler. It's been successful since Chrysler. That was a very, very long time ago, 1938. Part of me wants to say. I mean, it's like a really, really long time ago, and so many have failed. It's very impressive. DeLorean, Fisker recently, American Motors has gone under. I mean, there's so many car companies have failed.
Exactly. Okay, Sumer, I saw your question about I always get your name wrong. I apologize. If you'd like to put a question with your name phonetically spelled, I will gladly read it. I do apologize. What all Wi-Fi band antennas does Fire TV support?
802.11 ABGNN.
Correct. No AC. That seems odd, especially for streaming video.
It does seem a lot, yeah.
Yeah, you would think they would want to get that in there. We're coming up on a half hour here, so we're going to take just a couple more questions, guys. Let's see here. We've got, let me just see, there's a lot coming in. There it is. From Sean Huh, would you get an Amazon Fire TV if you have a PS3?
Nope. A PS3, I think it's a PS4. I would upgrade to a PS4 and then not get the Fire TV.
But, okay, now see, I'm going to go counter to you here. Yes, the PS4 has some of the streaming apps, but it depends on which streaming apps you want to use.
I mean, it's got Hulu, it's got Amazon, it's got Vudu, it's got Netflix. What else are we missing?
There's a lot, Crackle.
It's got Crackle.
Oh, does it have Crackle? Okay. Crunchyroll, the anime service.
That's a Crunchyroll. I remember thinking, what the heck's Crunchyroll? And then looking at it.
Okay, then yeah, if you have a PS4, you don't need one.
You got lawyered.
Boom!
Well, same thing with the Xbox, too. It's got on there as well.
John, here's a question that I'll let you answer. I'll just put it up at the top and let you deal with this question on your own.
Sean, why do you always wear a cap while live streams? I've been asking that question, too. Not only does he work during live streams, Sean wears that cap during everything. When Sean comes to the office, cap. When we go out in Southern California, cap. And you'd think that Sean's got, like, a weird... he's got, like, what is it, like a Quato on the back of his head. Isn't that Quato? Am I right?
Quattro, yeah, it came out of the stomach, but yes, Quattro.
Oh, that's right, on the the back of his head. Where he's got those whose name we do not speak growing out of the back of his head. I don't know why Sean does that. That's a very valid question.
Now, last time I was out the office, it was February. I did not wear the hat once to the office.
Uh,
I did it. I like wearing a stocking cap. It's just always been my thing.
from the John days of robbing convenience stores.
And John makes a little face every time he sees it come out of my bag and sees me put it on.
I was like, this is our homeless editor-in-chief.
Well, why do you think I have the beard now?
Yeah. It's weird that when Sean comes, he just like pushes his stuff in a cart.
Thanks for
and
that.
side note, Chrysler founded in 1925. Damn it. I was not close on that one.
What are we going to do with you, John? You got HTC One M8 AC wrong, and
Listen, I just lost my cred.
We're going to make you stand in the corner for an hour.
I could go for an hour break.
Who is the Amazon Fire TV directed towards? That's actually a very interesting question.
Sean, why don't you field that one?
I think it's yet another example of Amazon very successfully. If you look at the Kindle Fires, who is that directed towards? It's a Android tablet, but not quite an Android tablet. And so it's directed at, I think, the budget-minded consumer who is already on Amazon all the time. And it's just yet another opportunity with the Fire TV for them to keep you in the ecosystem and get you to buy Amazon coins, purchase videos directly from Amazon Prime Instant Video. And hey, wouldn't you like to have access to all these free movies? You could if you signed up for Amazon Prime, which Amazon Prime customers also spend more money on average than your average Amazon consumer.
Yeah. I want to jump in here. It was just announced by Stephen Elop on stage that, in fact, all Lumia devices will be getting 8.1, including the 530. So all Lumia devices, if it says Lumia on your phone, you will be getting 8.1. No idea when, but it will be coming. So we can confirm that rumor that we've heard for a while.
That's very nice. Very nice. From Adam Al-Hamadi, I'm going to apologize. What was the best feature of Windows Phone 8.1 for John?
There are a lot of really cool features. I like the, and everybody's going to make jokes and laugh at me, but how they sort of made the home screen a raster-baited image is very cool. The sort of like little pictures make up a whole big one. The new keyboard is awesome. I'm really, really excited about that. I've always really liked Windows Phone. I think now it's just gotten way better. Certainly Cortana is something that's just really needed. It's not really impressive anymore because those things kind of been done. It's nice that it integrates with apps and you can type to it. But I'm excited for the new home screens. The new lock screen looks great. I'm excited for a lot about Windows Phone 8.1. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good update.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take. You have time for one more question, John?
I do have time for one more question.
All right. This one comes from Eric Hong. Can you stream mobile tablet contents via Fire TV? Does Fire TV voice search feature search all providers' contents or just the Amazon Prime? I know that Roku allows you to search all providers' contents.
That was a lot of questions.
It is. That's why I picked it. They did not say anything about streaming any content from the Kindle Fires yet. As for searching all providers, they did not address that directly. We will have the Fire TV in the Irvine office, and I'll also have one tomorrow. That's actually one of the very first things I want to try out and see if it does search more than just Amazon.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's just going to be Prime, but we'll see.
Yeah, and see, that's going to be interesting because the Roku does search all, like Netflix, Hulu Plus, and all that. So it's going to be interesting to see if the voice search does work for all of them. Because they didn't directly address that today.
No, they didn't.
So... okay, we have to. I want to take this one because actually I can answer this one very easily. Will we ever see WebOS again from Ablum24? Yes.
On what platform, Sean?
Televisions.
Boo.
I know that was it was nice to see the WebOS logo again, but you're like, really?
On TV?
Yeah, yeah. WebOS is coming to televisions, so sometime this year.
Yep, from LG.
All right, John, do you have any final thoughts you want to share with the audience?
I'm excited just for all the new stuff. It's a fun time of year. I'm giddy. Much like everybody watching this, I love new things. I love following the announcements. I'm excited to try Windows 20.1, to try the new Lumia devices, to try the Fire TV, and just play with it. Of course, share all of our opinions with you. Because everybody's asking, our HTC One M8 review will be up very, very, very soon. We filmed it yesterday, and the editing was sort of commenced yesterday, and I think is wrapping up later on today. So that's all done. I know we spend a longer time with the devices than most sites. Our reviews usually come later, but it's much more comprehensive, and we sort of try to give actually using the device, as opposed to just trying to rush out a review. So look for that sometime this week.
Alrighty, folks. Well, we appreciate you joining us. For those of you that normally watch the Techno Buffalo show, we did postpone it today due to the Amazon and Microsoft event. It will be happening tomorrow at the regular time, so please feel free to join us then. It'll be the usual table of Joey, Todd, and myself.
I'm still waiting for my invitation.
Hey, John, you're the boss. You can say, hey, I'm going to be on the show today. And
Dude, I don't want to force my way in. I was hoping to get invited, but no invitation.
I will send you an engraved invitation.
Too little, too late, Sean.
On a stone tablet, even.
Too little, too late.
But I'll use the company shipping account to do
it. All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you here next time. Till then,
thank you, guys.